welcome to Tales of Honor Podcast, a podcast dedicated to telling the true stories of the Congressional Medal of Honor. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Tales of Honor Podcast. I'm your host, Christoph Ambrosch, and today's episode is episode number 187. And if this is your first time hearing this podcast, welcome. Kick off your shoes, grab a cup of coffee, and enjoy, relax. And please be sure to subscribe wherever it is that you are listening to this so that you can get new episodes every time they come out every Wednesday and Sunday. Also, please be sure to check out the new talesofhonorpodcast.com website. It's all up, good to go. Also, if you notice down at the very, very bottom, there's a whole bunch of links that kind of directs you to where else you can listen to this. You can listen to it on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify. You can also listen to it on the website. YouTube as well. These episodes do post to Facebook and Twitter, where you can also listen to them and share them. And I am currently working on a Patreon page for those who would kind of like to give back a little bit to the podcast in some sort of one-time or reoccurring monetary form. Anything that I do get from Patreon, I do plan on donating to the Congressional Medal of Honor Society like I have in the past. So please keep an eye out for more information as that comes out. I'm still working on that. And as always, please be sure to share this with all your friends and family. And now, a tale of honor. Robert was born on the 11th of July, 1920, in Callaway, Nebraska, which is where he would also enlist in the U.S. Army in June of 1942. Almost a year later, Robert was a private in the 133rd Infantry Regiment, 34th Infantry Division in Fondouk, Tunisia. It was here that his actions earned him the Medal of Honor. The citation reads, "For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at risk of life above and beyond the call of duty in action. On 9 April 1943 in the vicinity of Fondouk, Tunisia, Private Booker, while engaged in action against the enemy, carried a light machine gun and a box of ammunition over 200 yards of open ground. He continued to advance despite the fact that 2 enemy machine guns and several mortars were using him as an individual target. Although enemy artillery also began to register on him, upon reaching his objective he immediately commenced firing. After being wounded, he silenced 1 enemy machine gun and was beginning to fire at the other when he received a second mortal wound. With his last remaining strength, he encouraged the members of his squad and directed their fire. Private Booker acted without regard for his own safety. His initiative and courage against insurmountable odds are an example of the highest standard of self-sacrifice and fidelity to duty." About 1 year after his actions, Robert was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor. Robert D. Booker was 22 years old and is buried in the Rose Hill Cemetery in his hometown of Callaway, Nebraska. And that was a tale of honor. Thank you for listening to Tales of Honor Podcast. Head on over to talesofhonorpodcast.com for more information, other ways to listen and support the podcast, and please be sure to leave a good rating and a nice review. If you have any questions or comments, you can send them on over to talesofhonorpodcast@gmail.com. And until next time, I'm Christoph Ambrosch. Thanks for listening.